Welcome to Megapath Presents. I'm Ronnie Hayes, and today let's talk about what's coming up in The Walking Dead Season 9 finale. Now, I was searching high and low for the opening minutes. I heard it's out there. A friend, a member of the Matt family, sent an image of, it looked like the tip of a radio and said something about the opener has a radio and a brief description of the kingdom, stuff that we see in the trailer. But I was looking for it, and I couldn't find it anywhere. However, I am pulling this not from any spoilers, but from the still images that we got, also from the sneak peek. It just has Carol and Daryl talking, and then the actual full-length trailer that was just added to the AMC YouTube channel, like, I don't know, 35 minutes ago. So if you missed the trailer on TV, I think they put it in between the Badlands for some reason. You could check it out right on YouTube fresh. You don't have to watch some crappy upload of someone recording their TV. Some of the most interesting notes from the trailer, clearly it shows it's going to be a pilgrimage going from a fallen kingdom, which, interestingly enough, I don't know if the opening minutes reveals anything about this, but when they leave, the kingdom is destroyed. It looks like there was a fire. It looks like there was multiple fires. I don't remember it looking like any of that. And we know there's a few months time skip between 15 and 16. We know that coming up in one of the images, there's a clear indication that there's a time skip. But, wait. There we go. How about that? Let me, how about I organize some shit around here? Yikes. Anyhow, so there's definitely a time skip. So in between that time skip, did these burn down? Was this something where I wasn't even paying attention? I mean, when they had the fair, it looked a lot nicer than this, and it was only a few months ago they had the fair. The second thing of note, well, besides all the information we get in the trailer, it looks like, all right, real quick from the trailer, it looks like they're trying to get the point across that the kingdom falls. They need to make a journey before this storm comes. If this winter storm comes and they're at the kingdom, they're going to probably starve to death. It's going to be bad. So they need to make this trek. As they're making the trek, they head out. The weather's fine. It starts to snow. It starts to get colder. And they have to meet up at some sort of way station. Both Ezekiel and Michonne say this at different points in this, so they might even run into multiple way stations. And they decide to take a shortcut through the border line that Alpha set up, and that's showed in the trailer. And that's another important note right here. They make that journey through the border, which is likely going to result in them being caught doing this and possibly lead towards more conflict. I don't think that's going to be the only conflict. I think there's going to be more coming up in Season 10, however, or maybe some surprise they add at the end of Season 9 here. The other thing that they put right in the trailer is it looks to me clearly like Lydia is broken up, racked with guilt. She's not with anybody that is, I don't know, that likes her, or friends, family. She's literally alone. The only person that seems to be nice to her is Daryl, and it looks like she puts this barn tool. It looks like they're inside of a barn, and she puts this up to her neck. It looks like a scene where Lydia is telling Carol that she can kill her or go ahead and kill her. It's her fault, this, that, and the third. Carol has tears in her eyes, and I don't think, obviously, she's going to go through with it. The other part has an explanation of why Carol's so torn. Obviously, every time she looks at Lydia, it's not necessarily that she blames Lydia. Again, from this clip, we might learn more, but it's the fact that every time she looks at Lydia, she sees Henry, which absolutely makes sense. So going over to the images, this is something that's been bugging me. This room doesn't look like any room that we've seen in... Shut up, Carol. This room doesn't look like any room that we've seen in other images for The Walking Dead, and we're going to see that a little more. We have an image of Lydia, and here's the kingdom, or the king, probably on his journey away from the kingdom. We have Eugene working on some electrical stuff here. I'm hoping, again, I did my prediction video a week or so ago of what I would like to see in the finale, and I'm really hoping we close on a reveal that Rick is alive and it's Rick on the radio. That's one of my favorite predictions I think I've ever made. It just, the more I think about it, the more I'm like, yo, that is so bomb. And I think that has caught on because I'm getting bombarded with images of articles and videos. Ever since I did that video, it is everywhere. Everywhere you turn, someone's talking about Rick being on the end of the radio at the end of the episode. So I'm real hyped. If we don't get that, I'm going to be a little bummed. But one thing that's stressing me out is Michonne needs to be there. She needs to be there to hear it. I don't want it to be just like Eugene and even if Judith is there, Eugene, Judith, and Negan, I want Michonne to be there as well as Judith. Judith, I think that has more emotional weight. So them being in this cabin, I'm thinking, well, it doesn't look like anything from Alexandria, and Negan is there. Let's look at a couple pictures, and I'll bring it around because I'm looking for one in particular. But this is just people on the road. We got Negan there. We got Gabriel, Sadiq. We got Rosita, and this is what tells us there's going to be a little shift in time from the previous episode. She's got a little baby bump showing. And obviously you don't get pregnant and start showing a month or 2 months later. I believe it's right around the 4-month mark. Ladies, correct me if I'm wrong. But maybe 4 or 5 months. And again, it is different on, it's all, a number of different factors. She's a tiny little thing. So I would imagine the 5 month, right? About 5 months. So let's say there's I could be wrong, 4 month. Let's just say there's a 2 month at the lowest time skip between episode 15 and then episode 16. I'm going with 2 months. Anyhow, so this area doesn't look like anything we've seen before. And if Negan is here, it's got me thinking maybe my first thought was the basement jail cell was too cold and they couldn't keep him down there, so they brought him up to Alexandria. And our group was going to Alexandria, and they were going to meet up with them. But then I was thinking, what if something happened? What if they want to help out the kingdom, and they planned to meet at the way stations? That would have helped explain why Ezekiel's talking to a radio in the beginning. Maybe he's talking to other communities. The other communities sent out their groups, or maybe there wasn't enough people around in Alexandria. But the idea is maybe they brought Negan with them to the way station because there just wasn't anyone else around to keep an eye on him, especially if it's going to be a blizzard and snowing, and it's just not humane to leave him down there. So they bring him with them as their traveling prisoner. Again, I could be totally wrong, and this could be a new area. It's been years. This could be a new, commonplace area for the community where they sit down and eat. Obviously, if you're going to have one big community, you can have a dining hall, so to speak. So maybe this is one of those rooms, or this could be a way station. You got Judith looking out, waiting for Michonne and them to get there. RJ is chilling, playing with some toys. So I'm thinking they brought Negan with them. I'm really excited for the Winter Zombies, though. Oh my God, look at that. It just looks so freaking cool. Something about this feels like the next day, or maybe the beginning of the journey when it starts to snow a little bit, before the snow really kicks in. Daryl here, these are all parts of similar scenes. And a lot of these moments are going to be quick cuts. In the beginning of the episode, we're going to see a lot of the quick cuts of the kingdom fall down, people depressed from the Pike scene, Lydia eating alone, Daryl picks up her plate. There's a lot of these different moments like this. Everyone's standing around here talking about what to do next. I really want to get more of Aaron. Aaron, oh, you know what? Is he in any of the other images? I'm wondering if he came from Alexandria to meet up. See, if he came to meet up, that would make sense if Alexandrians are at a way station. And then we have, this is an important note I want to discuss real quick. A lot of people are asking, well, if they're remixing the Henry character so much, what are they going to do with Lydia now? Because a big part of that was their relationship. And then it dawned on me, it didn't dawn on me. Everyone noticed the similarity between Daryl running to Carol's side during Sophia. Remember, they're in the barn. He grabbed Carol. She fell down crying. And then in season 9, episode 15, where he saw that it was Henry, and he ran over to tell her not to look, don't look, and he kind of consoled her again. Very similar. I think it's a neat kind of callback in a twisted way, like a double tragedy for Carol. She just can't win. However, maybe the remix of the story isn't for a Henry and Lydia relationship. Maybe the remix moving forward is kind of like a reverse Joel and Ellie, from The Last of Us. And it's I think it would be interesting moving forward, having some shippers would have fun playing with this, but you have Daryl as kind of the father figure, friendly, looking after Lydia, but then you got Queen Carol as the mother figure, eventually getting over her anger and all this and redirecting her blame towards Alpha and taking Lydia in under her wing as kind of like a replacement Sophia. Now, I don't want to get cold with it and say it like that, but I think that's an interesting dynamic, and I think that is an interesting direction that story can go. We just don't know how long they plan on keeping Lydia. So, you guys know my thoughts for the end. My big main thing is Rick on the radio, the big oh my god reveal. Throughout this episode, it looks like a lot of it is going to be surviving the elements, the winter atmosphere. I'm good with going in and expecting just that, with some other twist that's going to pop up. And again, I'm actually trying to avoid some interviews and stuff. I know I wanted to make some videos with some interviews, but episode 16, I'm at such a loss at what they can do with the whispers that I'm so damn interested and curious to go in there. And I don't want them to release any more sneak peeks or images or reveals. I'm kind of at a loss, because how weird would it be not seeing the whispers after this anymore? I think that would be insane in a way, But you guys put your thoughts and opinions down below. We're definitely going to be talking about more of The Walking Dead. And if you're watching this as soon as I post it, get over to the Clementine's last episode. We're starting that in about 10 minutes, so get over to that video. I was going to say get over to the channel, but it's on this channel. We are live right now playing Clementine's very final episode in formerly known as Telltale's The Walking Dead, but now Skybound's The Walking Dead, the final season, episode 4. I'm going to get used to this little connector here that I got from my microphone. I keep bumping it, but thoughts and opinions in the comment box. I'm done talking. It's your turn.